integers. We know that whole number along with negative natural number forms a bigger class of numbers called integers. So, the numbers -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on are integers. Integers can be represented on number line as shown below. On a number line, the value of integers increases as we move to the right of number line and decreases as we move left to the number line. So, we conclude the following results. 1. All negative numbers are less than 0 and 0 is less than all positive numbers. 2. All negative numbers are less than positive numbers. 3. We know that 4 is greater than 3, but -4 is lesser than -3 because -4 lies to the left of -3 on the number line. 4. 0 is neither negative nor positive. Absolute value of integers. The distance of any number from 0 is called its absolute value. So, -3 and 3 both have same absolute value equal to 3 as they are equidistant from 0. Absolute value of an integer a is denoted as, that is, absolute value of 30 is equal to 30. Also, absolute value of -30 is equal to 30. So we conclude that absolute value of an integer is its numerical value irrespective of its sign. Of addition of integers. 1. Closure property. For two integers a and b, a plus b will also be an integer. 2. Commutative property. For any two integers a and b, a plus b is equal to b plus a. Thus, addition of integers is commutative. 3. Associative property. For three integers a, b and c, in the brackets a plus b plus c is equal to a plus in the brackets b plus c, which is equal to in the bracket a plus c plus b. Hence, addition of integers is associative. 4. Additive identity. For any integer a plus 0 is equal to 0 plus a, which is equal to a. Properties of subtraction. 1. Closure property. If a and b are two integers, then a minus b is also an integer. 5 minus in the bracket 4 is equal to 1 and 5 minus in the bracket minus 4 is equal to 5 plus 4, which is equal to 9. 2. Commutative property. For any two integers a and b, a minus b is not equal to b minus a. So, we conclude that subtraction of integers is not commutative. 3. Associative property. For three integers a, b and c, example, a minus in the bracket b minus c is not equal to in the bracket a minus b minus c. So, we conclude that subtraction of integers is not associative. Example 1. In a quiz, team A scored -40, 10 and 0. Team B scored 10, -40 and 0. And Team C scored 0, -40 and 10. Which team scored better? What conclusion do you draw? Solution. Score of Team A is equal to -40 plus 10 plus 0, which is equal to -30. Score of Team B is equal to 10 plus in the bracket -40 plus 0, which is equal to -30. Score of Team C is equal to 0 plus in the bracket -40 plus 10, which is equal to -30. So, all three teams scored same. We conclude that integers can be added in any order. that is, addition of integers is associative. Example 2. Write a pair of integers whose sum gives a. Negative integer, b. 0, c. An integer smaller than both the integers, d. An integer smaller than only one of the integers, e. An integer greater than both the integers. Note: in such questions, other answers are also possible. Solution: A. Let A is equal to minus 3 and B is equal to plus 1. So, A plus B is equal to minus 3 plus 1, which is equal to minus 2. In this case, we can take both the integers as negative also. That is, A is equal to minus 3, B is equal to minus 1. B. Let A is equal to minus 3 and B is equal to 3. So, A plus B is equal to minus 3 plus 3, which is equal to 0. C. Let A is equal to minus 5 and B is equal to minus 1. A plus B is equal to minus 6, and we know that minus 6 is lesser than minus 5 and minus 6 is lesser than minus 1. D. Let A is equal to minus 5 and B is equal to 4. Therefore, A plus B is equal to minus 5 plus 4, which is equal to minus 1. Minus 1 is lesser than 4 and minus 1 is greater than minus 5. E. Let A is equal to plus 4 and B is equal to 5. A plus B is equal to 4 plus 5. 9 is greater than 4 as well as 9 is greater than 5. So, the sum is greater than both the integers. Multiplication of integers. We know that multiplication is repeated addition. That is, 3 into 2 is equal to 3 plus 3, which is equal to 6. Minus 3 into 2 is equal to in the bracket minus 3 plus in the bracket minus 3, which is equal to minus 6. Rules of multiplication of integers. 1. To multiply two numbers with opposite sign, we multiply the numbers without sign and then put negative sign to the product so obtained. Example: in the bracket minus 2 into 3 is equal to minus in the bracket 2 into 3 is equal to minus 6. In the bracket 4 into in the bracket minus 7 is equal to minus in the bracket 4 into 7, which is equal to minus 28. 2. To multiply two numbers with same sign, we find the product of numbers without sign and then put positive sign to the product so obtained. Note: to multiply a series of integers, we count the number of negative integers. If A, it is odd, the product will be negative. Example: in the bracket minus 2 into in the bracket minus 3 into in the bracket 4 into in the bracket minus 1 is equal to minus 24, as the number of negative integers is odd. B. It is even, the product will be positive. In the bracket minus 2 into in the bracket minus 3 into in the bracket minus 4 into in the bracket minus 1 is equal to 24, as the number of negative integers is even. Solved examples. Example 1. Simplify by rearranging in the bracket minus 125 into 37 into 8. Solution: in the bracket minus 125 into 37 into 8 can be written as in the bracket minus 125 into 8 into 37, which is equal to in the bracket minus 1000 into 37 is equal to minus 37,000. Example 2. Simplify using distributive property. Minus 37 into 98. Solution: in the bracket minus 37 into 98 is equal to in the bracket minus 37 into in the bracket 100 minus 2 is equal to in the bracket minus 37 into 100 minus in the bracket minus 37 into 2. Distributive property is equal to in the bracket minus 3700 minus in the bracket minus 74 is equal to in the bracket minus 3700 plus 74, which is equal to minus in the bracket 3700 minus 74, which is equal to minus 3626. Example 3. Simplify using properties in the bracket minus 152 into in the bracket 97 plus in the bracket 152 into in the bracket minus 3. Solution. 152 into in the bracket minus 3 can be written as in the bracket minus 152 into 3. Therefore, in the bracket minus 152 into in the bracket 97 plus in the bracket 152 into in the bracket minus 3, which is equal to in the bracket minus 152 into 97 plus in the bracket minus 152 into 3, which is equal to in the bracket minus 152 into in the bracket 97 plus 3, distributive property, which is equal to in the bracket minus 152 into 100, which is equal to minus 15,200. Example 4. Simplify using properties in the bracket plus 25 into 4 plus in the bracket minus 25 into in the bracket minus 6. Solution. Product of two negative numbers is positive. So, in the bracket minus 25 into in the bracket minus 6 is equal to 25 into 6. In the bracket plus 25 into 4 plus in the bracket minus 25 into in the bracket minus 6 is equal to 25 into 4 plus 25 into 6, which is equal to 25 into in the bracket 4 plus 6, distributive property, which is equal to 25 into 10, which is equal to 250. Division of integers. Division is an inverse operation of multiplication. This statement can be explained by taking few examples. Let in the bracket minus 4 into 8 is equal to minus 32. So, in the bracket minus 32 divided by in the bracket minus 4 is equal to 8 and minus 32 divided by 8 is equal to minus 4.
So, for every multiplication statement, we can write two division statements.
Rules for division of integers. 1. If both dividend and divisor are of same sign, then on dividing, quotient will always be a positive integer. 2. If both dividend and divisor are of different sign, then on dividing, the quotient will always be a negative integer. Example. Divide A. 140 by in the bracket minus 20. B. Minus 24 by 3. C. Minus 125 by minus 25. Solution. A. 140 divided by in the bracket minus 20 is equal to minus in the bracket 140 divided by 20, which is equal to minus 7. B. In the bracket minus 24 divided by 3 is equal to minus in the bracket 24 divided by 3, which is equal to minus 8. C. In the bracket minus 125 divided by in the bracket minus 25, which is equal to plus in the bracket 125 divided by 25, which is equal to plus 5. Example 1. An elevator descends into a mine shaft at the rate of 6 meters per minute. If the descent starts from 10 meters above the ground level, how long will it take to reach minus 350 meters? Solution. Distance above the ground is equal to 10 meters. It has to reach 350 meters below the ground. So, total distance to descend is equal to 10 minus in the bracket minus 350, which is equal to 10 plus 350, which is equal to 360 meters. Time taken to descend 6 meters is equal to 1 minute. Time taken to descend 1 meter is equal to 1 by 6. Time taken to descend 360 meters is equal to 1 by 6 into 360, which is equal to 60 minutes, which is equal to 1 hour. Example 2. Evaluate the following. A. 26 divided by in the bracket minus 13 divided by in the bracket 1. B. In the bracket minus 57 divided by 3 divided by 19. C. In the bracket minus 20 plus 5 divided by in the bracket minus 5 plus in the bracket 2. Solution. A. 26 divided by in the bracket minus 13 divided by 1 is equal to 26 divided by in the bracket minus 13, which is equal to minus in the bracket 26 divided by 13, which is equal to minus 2. B. In the bracket minus 57 divided by 3 divided by 19, which is equal to minus in the bracket 57 divided by 3 divided by 19, which is equal to in the bracket minus 19 divided by 19, which is equal to minus in the bracket 19 divided by 19, which is equal to minus 1. C. In the bracket minus 20 plus 5 divided by in the bracket minus 5 plus 2, which is equal to minus in the bracket 20 minus 5 divided by minus in the bracket 5 minus 2, which is equal to in the bracket minus 15 divided by in the bracket minus 3, which is equal to plus in the bracket 15 divided by 3, which is equal to plus 5.